All right, so India's capital just dropped its massive budget for the coming year. And honestly, it's a blueprint that's making a huge gamble on two totally different futures. So, what's the big plan here? Let's dive in and break it down.
Okay, first things first, let's just look at the headline number. This is the total amount they're planning to spend. And yeah, you're seeing that right. That's over 1 lakh crore rupees. I mean, that is a massive figure, no matter how you slice it. It really shows you just how big their ambitions are.
And to put that in perspective, what we're talking about is the entire financial blueprint for one of the biggest megacities on the planet for the whole next year. It's actually up about 3.7% from last year, which tells you they're serious about investing and pushing for growth.
But you know, the real story here isn't just about all those zeros. It's about the bets they're making, the big strategic moves. This budget really lays out a clear vision, and it's built on two really powerful and kind of different pillars. So the big question is, what is Delhi actually trying to become?
All right, let's get into pillar number 1, a massive push for the environment. And look, they're not just talking a big game here. They are putting some serious cash behind what they're calling a green budget.
And this is where it gets really interesting, the sheer scale of this thing. We're talking about over 21% of the entire budget. Think about that. More than a fifth of every single rupee is going toward environmental and green projects. That comes out to a staggering 22,236 crore rupees, all aimed squarely at tackling the city's huge environmental issues.
So where's all that money actually going? Well, it's basically a four-pronged attack. They're going after the city's infamous pollution, they're expanding parks and green spaces, completely overhauling waste management, and making a huge push toward clean energy. You can see this isn't just about upkeep, it's a full-on strategic overhaul.
Okay, to make this feel a bit more real, let's look at a specific example. Check out this number, 6,130. That's how many new electric buses the government is planning to bring in. That is a huge step in weaning the city's public transport off of fossil fuels.
And that is the real-world impact, right? The crucial takeaway here is that this isn't just some abstract policy or a number on a spreadsheet. It translates directly into something you can actually feel, like, well, cleaner air when you're out for a morning walk.
Okay, now let's pivot to the second pillar of this whole plan. Because alongside this huge green mandate, Delhi is making a really bold play to become a hub for the industries of the future.
Of course, the budget still covers all the usual stuff. You know, roads, sanitation, water. But the really groundbreaking part is this laser focus on futuristic industries. We're talking about a major strategic shift here, moving towards high-tech manufacturing. And they're specifically targeting semiconductors and drones.
So you might be wondering, what on earth is a semiconductor policy for a city? What does that even mean? Well, simply put, it's all about creating the perfect ecosystem, the right infrastructure, the best incentives, a deep talent pool to get companies that design and make microchips to set up shop right there. You know, the chips that power literally everything these days. And it's a similar story with the drone policy. This is about way more than just people flying drones around. It's a really ambitious plan to turn Delhi into a major center for manufacturing drones, for R&D, and for developing all kinds of new services that use them. They're trying to tap into what is a seriously fast-growing global market.
Okay, but here's the thing. These local policies don't just exist in a bubble. To really get the full picture, we've got to zoom out a bit and see how all this fits into India's bigger national ambitions.
And this quote from a national press release really says it all. Delhi's new focus on high-tech stuff, that's not some random standalone idea. It's basically the city-level version of the Make in India strategy that we've been hearing about for years, the one that's all about boosting domestic production and becoming more self-reliant.
In fact, if you look closer, Delhi's new semiconductor policy plugs directly into the National India Semiconductor Mission 2.0. It's a textbook example of a local government lining up its strategy to support and, honestly, to capitalize on a major national push to build a self-sufficient electronics ecosystem.
So there you have it, a two-part vision. On one hand, a cleaner, greener city, and on the other, a cutting-edge tech hub. It's definitely an impressive, really ambitious plan. But we all know a plan is only as good as how well you can actually pull it off.
And that really brings us to the final big question. This budget is a compelling blueprint for sure. But turning all these billions of dollars into something real on the ground, well, that's the ultimate test. Can Delhi actually manage to balance the crazy demands of building a tech hub while also delivering on its promise of a greener future? The vision is there, no doubt. But the real trial, the execution, is just getting started.
So what do you think? This double bet on green and tech, is it brilliant? Is it too much at once? Let us know what you're thinking down in the comments. And hey, if you found this breakdown useful, you know what to do. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for tuning in.